Hi everyone, this is Brandy from Little Britches, and this is seller newsletter number 2 for the fall 2024 sale. Okay, so what we kind of talk about in this newsletter is increasing your chances for your items selling. And so first, everybody's experience is different. All we can speak to is what we've noticed both as sellers, because we sell our own items in the sale and have for lots of years now. And then also just what we notice as far as things we see coming through the checkout, and primarily the things we see left at the end of the sale. So that's kind of what we really can get a good scope of, like, here's the things that aren't selling, here's our guesses as to why. So the big one is clean items that are well presented are always going to sell better. Okay, so really take the time, make sure to clean in those nooks and crannies, really get an item prepared and ready to sell. Even if it is something like an outdoor play item or something like that that you kind of expect to get dirty. People have a hard time visualizing their children using something if it's not clean. And so it is worth your time. Take some time to clean it up. I know it can be really difficult with some items, but it's always worth your time. So definitely do that. Same thing with clothing. First off, we do not accept items that have stains on them. But also, if you have something that is stained, it's not going to sell. And I do have a link in there that is to a post that I think is particularly helpful with getting out stains. I've been surprised how often I'm able to get stains out of clothes that I end up being able to bring to the sale. So just remember that if an item is, you just can't get it clean. I know I had a swing last year that had been sitting in our backyard for a really long time, and when I tried to clean it up, I just could not get it clean enough to go on the sales floor. So I did not bring it to the sale. Stained clothing, you need to find a different place to take it. We just need to make sure that the items on our sales floor are clean and something that people enjoy shopping. Okay. If you have an item that is electronic, do make sure to put fresh batteries in it. We will not pull it from the floor if it does not have batteries, but we will tell you that people aren't really keen on buying something that they can't see that it works. So if it's electronic and it's not working, they're going to assume it just doesn't work. They're not going to assume it needs batteries. So pricing. I always say one of the best things about our sale is that you can choose your own pricing. And I always say one of the hardest things about our sale is you can choose your own pricing. So I know it's difficult sometimes, especially because some of the items you're selling, you probably have a really strong sentimental attachment to. But it's really important to try to get objective about what the item is worth. I have a pricing guide in there and linked in there that is really helpful for kind of a stepping off point. So just to give you an idea of what our suggestions are, when it comes to non-clothing items, typically we say to start at about 30% of the retail price of it. So whatever you could currently purchase it for from the store, okay? And then go up or down from that. If it is something in like new condition, you might be able to nudge it up a little bit from that 30%. If it's something that's pretty well used but still has a lot of life in it, it will probably still sell, but you're going to need to bring it down below that 30%. So just really try to be objective and think about what you would be willing to have bought to pay for that from your when you were buying that item for your child. Okay. Packing. So people want to see that the item that they're buying. So make sure that you are packing it in a way that is, that the parts are visible, that you can see all the components, things like that. One thing that sometimes folks will do if you have a large item. So one thing that always comes to mind is crib bedding, because crib bedding has so many components, but it's so big, it's really hard to show everything. You are totally allowed to use a stock photo or a picture of it, when it was in use in your own house, whatever. Put that on the item so that they can see exactly what they're getting. You are also welcome to add another little piece of paper on the package that says, like, all the different components that item includes. That is totally fine. Also just remember, excuse me, also just remember some categories are just tough. So you're going to want to price accordingly. So, just really be thinking about the items that are really easy to find at the sale are often going to be the ones that people are going to want to be able to get a little bit of a better bargain on. So if you want your item to go, you're going to need to price it more competitively. And then also, I just want to remind you that we do have a particular way that we want items prepared for the sale. And we're going to need to get pretty picky about that because we've had too many people taking advantage. So please make sure that you take a look at the site. And we will also tell you if there is one thing with clothing that we notice when it comes to who has items left over. we can tell you that hanging items that are not prepared correctly, so if they're hung on the incorrect side of the hanger, they have significantly lower sell-through. And so it is important not only because you need to follow the expectations of the sale, but also because your items are not going to sell if shoppers cannot easily shop them. So make sure that you're taking the time to understand how they should be prepared for the sale. Appointments, make sure you make your drop-off and pickup appointments. Pickup appointments now are only necessary if you are not donating all of your unsold items. So if you're donating all unsold items, don't make a pickup appointment. You're not going to need it. Do make sure to make a drop-off appointment. Remember that when you're making your appointment time, remember that the expectation is that you stay to put your items away. So just make sure you allow time for that. A lot of times we get questions about our donation option because people don't really know where that's getting donated to. So something that's really important to us at Little Britches is that we are working with local organizations because we want to help local families, because we believe that's the way to get the items most quickly into the hands of folks who will need them and use them. So what we do with our sale is we do something really cool called an after sale party. We send out invitations to local organizations that work with families in need, and those invitations allow people to come in and shop for their children free of charge. They can come get whatever items they need out of the donated items. And we love it because it gives them that opportunity to choose the items for their children, so that they can get exactly what their kids need. Everything that is left after that gets picked up by Toys for Manhattan, and they are amazing partners because they will keep some of the items that they can use for their organization. But if they're items that don't really fit their organization, they pass on to other local organizations. So we're super lucky to have that partnership with them. But rest assured, if you donate your unsold items, they're going to go to somebody in the community who can use them most. And we are really proud of that. So we really encourage you to consider marking items for a donation and feeling confident that you are doing something good when you choose to donate your unsold items. Final important thing is that this Saturday volunteer registration opens up. So if you are new to our sale, we need a lot of volunteers, and sellers often make fantastic volunteers because you already come in with that knowledge. And I will tell you, volunteering makes you a fantastic seller because you will get to see how other people prepare their items. You'll get to notice trends in what's selling. You'll get to notice trends in pricing. You'll get to, kind of scope out like, oh, I wouldn't have even thought to brought that to the sale or whatever. So I really suggest considering volunteering. If you are able to do that right in your consignor workstation. You don't have to go in anything else. That actually gets you into shop at 5:30 on pre-sale night instead of 6:30, which is when your seller's pass gets you in. And then you're able to share your seller's pass with a friend, so it can still get used. Okay, so I think that's everything. Please make sure, if you are new from last week, make sure to go in and either watch last week's video or read the first seller newsletter to make sure you're getting all of your information. And of course, always let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.